where news comes first. This is WECT News at 6, streaming live on WECT.com and on the WECT News app.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm John Evans.
And I'm Frances Weller. It's complicated and it's cold.
Talking about the winter storm, there's a warning in effect right now. A state of emergency declared in all of our local counties. We have team coverage tonight. Our meteorologists are in the studio tracking the storm.
And from New Hanover to Columbus County, our reporters are live monitoring the elements and even offering tips on how to stay safe if you have to hit the roads. But first, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Jan28 with the latest details on the winter weather.
You got it, Fran and John, and we've got an active radar going on throughout the day. Our storm system approaching from the west, throwing more and more moisture into our area. So clouds over recent hours yielding more and more freezing rain and sleet showers, with snow showers relegated now, at least the pure snow, into northern and central and western North Carolina. Not so much here in the southeast, but I think some of that's coming as cold air gains a better foothold on southeastern North Carolina through the night. So let's walk you through the forecast starting at 7 o'clock this evening. Widespread freezing rain and sleet, maybe a little bit of snow far inland, but that pure snow line makes progress closer to the coast by 11 o'clock. I'm thinking still most of us seeing freezing rain and sleet at 11 o'clock. Dangerous travel conditions all the way, but perhaps Kenansville, Clinton, Bladenboro, Elizabethtown may be going over to pure snow as early as late this evening. And that pure snow line fights its way to the coast, such that by daybreak tomorrow, most of what will be falling in southeastern North Carolina will be in the form of snow showers. The cold air gets a real strong foothold through the atmosphere by that time, but the storm system will be just about to leave by that time. I think by midday tomorrow, we're done with precipitation. But it's a primarily snow with some sleet event when you add it all up for the likes of Bladen County and portions of Sampson, Duplin, maybe extreme northwestern Columbus and Pender in that zone as well. A lot of spots experiencing a whole bunch of freezing rain and sleet before that snow changeover. So as we look at the snow and sleet accumulation forecast, the heaviest totals, Fran and John, are going to be in the areas that get the pure snow first, and that's far inland. But all areas will experience and are already experiencing significant wintry precipitation. So if you must travel, do so with extreme caution overnight tonight and first thing tomorrow. But overall, travel just not recommended.
And we can't stress that enough. Within the past 45 minutes, we've had 2 reports of car accidents, one involving a flipped over car. So very important, if you don't have to be out, please don't get out. It's very dangerous.
And dangerous is the word. New Hanover 911 already said travel is dangerous out there, right? That's the same word they used. And they're the experts when it comes to what's going on out there right now. Now, you and Eric are predicting somewhere upwards and around about a half an inch of ice on some of the roadways, right?
Well, it's possible that in terms of just that freezing rain component, that's the rain that falls and forms a glaze. It's possible there's a corridor between, say, Hempstead, Wilmington, and Leland, say Highway 17, that some places get a quarter to a half an inch of freezing rain. Sleet's a little bit better because it doesn't form those glaze on the power lines, but a couple of spots could have enough significant glaze on power lines to cause some scattered outages. So that's a whole thing we're going to be watching for this evening as well.
Yeah, so if you have to be out, keep an eye out for that and be safe if you have to travel.
And as far as the snow is concerned, when do you expect that to be out of here?
Yeah, between 7 and noon tomorrow, the snow showers are going to taper off from inland to the coast. So by midday tomorrow, I think we're pretty much done with it all.
All right. Thanks, Gannon.
And contrary to some remarks on social media, the bridges in Wilmington are open tonight.
WECT's Craig Reck is keeping an eye on the bridges tonight. Craig, what do you see out there right now?
Well, Fran and John, I can tell you what we see is very few cars crossing that bridge tonight. Some of the ones we are seeing are the DOT crews. I'll step out of the way just to show you how bare the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge is tonight. Right about this time, we should be seeing plenty of traffic, but that is not the case. Now, I heard you mention earlier in the newscast those dangerous conditions. Well, the descriptors, dangerous, treacherous, an unpleasant ride. Well, that's how some of the DOT crews are describing the roadways tonight. So to give you an idea of what they're doing to keep these bridges open and the roadways open, well, they're going to be salting them. They've already treated the bridges because they know these are the spots that are likely going to ice over sooner. They're going to ice over quicker in the night. So I'm told DOT crews will be out monitoring the bridges, making sure that they are somewhat safe to pass. I'm told that they realize that it is going to be a dangerous condition, that there is going to be ice on the roadway, so they do caution you, if you're going to drive as if there is already ice on the road. Be prepared to make any sudden changes in your route. Reporting live in Wilmington, Craig Reck, WECT News.
One of the worst winter storms in quite some time is right on the heels of the Cape Fear region. And one of the biggest concerns in our area is the possibility of icy roads, as we talked about just a few minutes ago. The best way to stay safe is to stay off the roads. But for some of us, that's simply not possible. WECT's Ben Powell reports driving on slick roads is tricky, but it does not have to be dangerous. Right, Ben?
Well, Fran, just getting to where you're going could be interesting in itself, but I'm standing out in the WECT parking lot right now, and I can tell you that these roads are already slippery. I've been slipping and sliding, having a good time out here. I feel like I'm a kid again, but it's a serious thing that you need to be careful of before you even get in your car. Just walking out to your car can be dangerous, and when you actually step behind the wheel and start driving, now that's a whole different story.
In a stopping situation on ice, light pressure on the brake pedal and no big motions on the steering wheel. Nice, easy corrections and allow the vehicle to coast to a stop.
Ward spends most of his time on the road working for Brunswick County Emergency Services. He says there are a few keys to staying safe during this winter event. Number one, stay home if you don't have to drive. But if you must go out, reduce your speed, leave plenty of room between you and other vehicles, and maintain a steady pace with no sudden movements.
People are curious, they want to get out and see the countryside when it's snow covered. But with ice and then snow, the road conditions are super hazardous, and it's better to just stay at home.
Now, as you can see, my windshield right here is already icing up. It's going to take me a while to scrape all this stuff off and get out of here for the night. But for more information on safety tips and how you can keep you and your family safe and how you can keep the windshield here clear, just head over to our website, WECT.com. We got a whole bunch of safety tips and other stuff that will help keep you safe during this winter event. For now, reporting live, Ben Powell, WECT News.
All right, get some gloves there, Ben Powell. Thanks so much. Tonight, New Hanover Regional Medical Center is now on lockdown, which will last for nearly 48 hours. No visitors will be allowed in until the lockdown is lifted Thursday morning. The hospital's health information line, Vita Line, will still be open. We found workers getting ready for the lockdown. They'll be sleeping at the hospital for the next 2 days, taking turns caring for patients. Hospital administrators have prepared for a move like this one for a while.
Being prepared for emergencies is part of what the hospital does. We have a whole emergency plan in place. We've been planning this for days.
Emergency medical services will still run during the lockdown, which should be lifted by Thursday morning.
Now, the sleet has fallen in some areas since early this afternoon. In Columbus County, crews are expecting more precipitation, maybe in the form of snow, than areas closer to the coast. WECT's Justin Smith live in Whiteville with a look at what he's seeing at this hour. Justin?
Well, John, that sleet is continuing to come down here near Whiteville High School. Officials here believe that the weather conditions will deteriorate as the night goes on. That's why they set up a special command post, an emergency operations center, to bring various agencies under one roof so they can quickly respond to calls for help.
It's not only just your fire departments, your EMS departments, your law enforcement agencies. You know, you might have special medical needs, and our health department here helps us coordinate those type of calls that we have. Social services, in the event that the county was to open a shelter, social services has employees that work here.
So that special emergency operations center is open right now at the county's 911 center. Emergency Management Director Kay Worley, you heard her there mentioning the possibility of opening shelters. There are no plans right now to do that. However, she says that the county is working with the American Red Cross. They've reserved some hotel rooms here in Whiteville for families who do need to be relocated. For now, reporting live in Columbus County, Justin Smith, WECT News.
All right, Justin, thanks. Now remember to keep your cell phone charged. If you lose power, you can still get all the information you need for free from the WECT weather and news apps. Download them right now for your iPhone or Android devices. They will come in handy if the power goes out.
The winter weather has begun to make its way across our area. Some of you have already sent in some pictures. If you have something you'd like to share, upload it to See It, Snap It, Send It on WECT.com.
Or you can always share it on our Facebook page or email it into us as well, which many of you have already done. That story's coming up. More on the storm and a deadly shooting that happened early this morning in Wilmington.
A young woman is shot and killed by police. We have the police radio traffic. Hear what was said before the fatal shot.
You're watching WECT News at 6.
2 Wilmington police officers are on leave tonight, and the SBI has started an investigation after a deadly shooting that happened this morning in the city of Wilmington.
Yes, it's something that folks have been talking about a lot. Of course, the snow has been the big story today, but this has been the other big story. WECT's Ashley Kozakowski listened to the 911 calls and police radio traffic. She's live now with how things unfolded. Ashley?
Well, that's right. Police say 21-year-old Grace Louise Denk was killed this morning in an officer-involved shooting in Wilmington. Now, according to the 911 calls from the woman's boyfriend, she had been drinking and he was worried she may try to kill herself. When officers got to the scene, they actually found Denk in the driver's seat of this silver car that you see right here.
She's got a gun.
Moments later, shots rang out. Denk was apparently shot in the chest, and here's what happened next.
5 EMS. Chest wound has been patched. She is breathing. We do have a pulse.
Denk was taken to New Hanover Regional Medical Center, where she was later pronounced dead. In addition to the SBI investigation, the Wilmington Police Department also conducting an internal review of what happened. Live in the studio, I'm Ashley Kozakowski, WECT News.
New at 6 tonight, a man who police say ran a meeting place for gang members in Wilmington is in jail. They say Jamal Burton had eluded them for more than a year.
He's accused of maintaining a building on Princess Place Drive used for selling illegal drugs and alcohol and gambling. Burton faces a string of charges and is being held in jail tonight.
We're looking live at a first alert traffic cam at College Road and Wilshire Boulevard. Looks like the traffic that is on the roads moving very slowly, and that's a good thing because sleet and freezing rain is starting to stick. Been doing so the last few hours. The latest on the winter storm that's in effect through the rest of tonight in the forecast after the break.
This is Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick with your first alert weather.
Welcome back at 6:17 on a Tuesday evening, where just 24 hours ago we were talking about and feeling temperatures in the 50s and 60s, but to get a winter storm need an Arctic cold front, and that one came through late last night and first thing tomorrow. Temperatures in the 20s all across southeastern North Carolina now, and they're not going to budge overnight tonight because we've got north breezes giving us a steady supply of cold air into tonight. At the same time, the north winds come in at low levels. Moisture streams in from the south, and that moisture will continue to manifest in clouds that will deliver freezing rain and sleet this evening, with some gradual pockets of snow starting to take over more and more real estate from inland areas to the coast late tonight and first thing tomorrow. Any precipitation that's left over early tomorrow will be all snow. So we'll call it a morning snow shower. Then for tomorrow afternoon, this wintry system is gone. We'll see partial clearing of our skies, but temperatures will stay very cold tomorrow. I think we'll only be able to buy upper 20s and low 30s for highs. That's close to 30 degrees below average for a late January day. So cold throughout this process. And again, here's the moisture on our composite radar. A layer cake of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and plain old rain. But that plain old rain is just to our south, and it's not moving in. Remember, we've got the cold air coming in from the north. That's going to keep this pink shaded color going on the radar this evening. That's indicative of areas of sleet and freezing rain that are likely to continue for several hours. So here's our hour-by-hour model walking you through the system between 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Mostly we stay the same. We're in the sleet and freezing rain zone, but there are going to be spots in Bladen County, especially northwest Bladen County, that will turn over to pure snow as early as late this evening. And then we'll watch that pure snow line make its way closer to the coast in the wee hours of tomorrow morning. That's as the cold air starts to win the battle for more layers of the atmosphere late tonight and first thing tomorrow. So in the wee hours of the morning, Whiteville, Fairbluff, Chadburn probably picking up the snow. Bladen County should be in solid snow at that time unless something changes. Burgaw, Watha into the snow. North to Duplin County just about the same. Off to the south and east for coastal Pender, most of Brunswick and New Hanover County still in the sleet and freezing rain zone for an extended period of tonight. So dangerous icing conditions likely to continue. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice the snow line has fought its way to all but perhaps far southern New Hanover and far southeastern Brunswick County. So maybe around daybreak, Southport over to Carolina Beach is picking up some sleet and freezing rain. But I think for the most part, what's falling in our area first thing tomorrow is snow showers. And then it's gone. Midday tomorrow, it moves away. So our precipitation types, primarily snow with some sleet north and west, the sleet especially early on, and then a whole bunch of sleet and freezing rain gradually changing to snow with that process that I described with our hour-by-hour model. So the places that pick up the most snow and sleet are the places that really get the snow first, because snow is a little fluffier than sleet and tends to pile up. So northwestern Bladen County, you're in the 5 to 7 inch zone in our forecast. Whole bunch of us picking up 3, 4, 5 inches of snow and sleet, kind of an icy, snowy, sloppy brick of precipitation laying on your lawn first thing tomorrow. And then near the coast, less than 3 inches. But this is significant. I mean, this ice is for real. And if you get a little snow on top of that, it's a tough situation no matter where you live. What a beautiful picture, though, from Bonte. This is from Wilmington. It's an ice-covered rose. And also, this one's nice. Instead of icy roads, we'll call it an icy ride. How about this? Sleet covering this car in Hampstead. Here's your first alert planning forecast for the next 3, expanding to 7 days. Wintry in the next 12 to 18 hours. Then we get into the 60s as we go into the weekend. So that should feel pretty good. Now I want to turn it over to my colleague in the Forecast Center, Eric Davis. And Eric, let's talk about the ice component of this system, because this is something we had been talking about for several days, right? Not just a snowstorm, but an ice component. And you've got more information on why we're seeing such a variety of winter precipitation, not just snow, right?
That's right. One thing is for sure, again, and temperatures right now across all of southeastern North Carolina at the surface are running in the 20s. So all the precipitation that's falling is frozen, but different types of frozen precipitation is certainly the theme for tonight. Let's check out this graphic. Kind of explains exactly what is going on in the atmosphere. Now, typically when we think about frozen precipitation, we're thinking about pure snow. That means the layer basically from the surface all the way up to the clouds, all these areas right here running below 32 degrees. But that's not the situation type. We thought this might be the situation, or many forecasters thought this might be the situation that we were going to be dealing with for much of the day. But what in fact is happening, and Gannon, you deserve a lot of credit for this. You were mentioning, especially on Sunday, that a warm layer of air was going to begin to move in, particularly in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. Now notice closer to the coast. Now on this graphic right here, this is the coast right here. You have more warm air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, and that's what's happening as the snow is falling, melting, and then as it moves back to the surface, it's refreezing. So a lot of freezing rain near the coast. As you progressively move further inland, particularly Pender County, maybe sleet. We're starting to see more predominant sleet. Some freezing rain mixing in, but that warm layer gets smaller, gets shallower, and where that happens, that's where you have sleet falling. And then as you move back into Bladen County, particularly around Interstate 95, that is where the column of air is, in fact, all below freezing, and those are the areas that are going to mostly be seeing snow here as we get through the balance of tonight. And just want to mention this real quickly. Our hour-by-hour model does show that we could see significant icing, particularly along the Highway 17 corridor. Half inch or more of ice in many locations. If in fact we get that, we in fact could see power outages and very dangerous road conditions. But everybody will see wintry travel. We'll have more after this.
Well, this is a different looking radar than most nights, right?
Pink, yeah.
All pink, except offshore. That's where the pure rain is, and pure snow's up towards Southern Pines and Raleigh. Most of what's going on, if not all of it, in southeastern North Carolina is a dangerous combination of sleet and freezing rain. It will change over to pure snow from inland areas to the coast overnight and first thing tomorrow. Then the system's out of here. We got some 60s coming up for the weekend.
All right, we'll see you back here at 11.